I have a great idea,
But I'll
never do it. It might happen. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hey everybody, it's me, John.
And me, Louise.
You're listening to, or watching to, I Have a Great Idea, but I'll never do it, the only podcast that's all about the great ideas that we never do, that we always have. I kind of got that mixed up. I've had a crazy day.
Do tell.
Not crazy day, crazy past hour and a half. Okay, started a new job yesterday. So now I'm like commuting. Yeah, thumbs up. It's great. So commuting to and from downtown Portland, and it's a 9 to 5 situation. And lo and behold, 5 o'clock has something that is called rush hour. Rush hour traffic. It's a real thing. So I'm on the bus coming home, and it's like barely budging. Meanwhile, my wife Laura is homesick, and she's very hungry, and there's nothing that's in our house that she feels is appetizing to eat. So asked if I could order something. So I order. The only thing that she is hungry for is Lebanese food. So I order some through Postmates that should get to the house around the same time that I'm supposed to get there. I mean, not really taking into consideration that there'd be so much traffic and that I'd be on the bus for an hour rather than 30 minutes. Anyway, I get a call while I'm on the bus from the Postmates driver to let me know that he got into a car accident, totaled his car, and he is not feeling great. So, yeah, yikes.
Now, I was going to say that food is going to get there so much faster than you because it's on a bicycle. It's not in Portland, eh?
Nope. So, this poor guy, took one for the team, I guess. But, so I feel bad because this happened to this guy, but I also feel bad because the food...
Your wife is hungry.
She's very hungry, and she's very sick and needs sustenance and is not able to get it. So I've been like on the phone with the people at Postmates who can't really do much about it except for refund my money. And fortunately, the driver is okay, but is going to the ER. And anyway, so I just had to like reorder everything, and hopefully this new driver doesn't have the same fate as the last driver. If they do, that would be crazy.
Buy a lottery ticket. Something's up.
Something is fishy. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. By the way, I'm hating all of this reflection on my eyeglasses of the computer.
I think it's kind of groovy. You're a little bit of a robot.
But hey, Louise.
But reflection in your glasses. Do you see my reflection?
Little twinkly lights. Well, they're not twinkling, but they're little lights.
They're there.
Imagine a twinkle.
Yes. I mean, if you just move your head really fast.
Or just blink a lot.
Twinkle. Yeah. Yeah, put up some holiday decor. And I love it.
So what's up? What's new with you? What's going on? How's it going?
Well, here's what's up with me. I'll try not to complain too much. Mare, you guys have met her. She was on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me a little care package for the holidays, and she was like, "Meh, you can open it." So I got really excited, and I was like, "Ooh, which one am I going to open?" And of course, she's like, and I sent stuff for Chris, and I sent stuff for Road Dogg, and none of the things have labels.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, well, meh, I guess I'll see. And I open, it's for me.
Uh-huh.
It's a bejeweled pink and gold spider ornament. Now, I hate spiders. Like, I would like to say something horribly sexist, like I turn into a girl and I'm like, but I do. And I can't handle it. And Chris and I have gone through several phases of our relationship where my immediate animal reaction has made him so uncomfortable that now I have to just be like, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? And instead of just screaming. But I open this box to this bejeweled spider and immediately text her, WTF. Like, that wasn't legit what I texted, but that was the feeling behind the text.
Uh-huh.
And I said, you better watch it because I'm going to send you mice because that's her thing.
Oh.
Like spiders are mine, mice are hers. So we were a really good pair growing up. My growing up. She was already grown. So I thought, I'm gonna just throw this out. I don't need this kind of harassment. She ended up texting back that there's a beautiful story that goes along with it, and I can't handle that still. And then some friends suggested that I give it a name, and of course, cheesy and corny like I am, I was like, fine, her name is Charlotte. I still hate her. And then, because I got up at 4:30 this morning to teach, and on the bus on the way to class, I was like, when she kicks the bucket, I'm going to really wish I had that dumb spider. So now it's on the tree. And I can't help but think that at giving her eulogy, I'll reference this. And she told me when she gave it to me, or when I texted her about it, those listening and not watching on YouTube, air quotes for Mayor, you have to learn to live with spiders. So, life lessons. That's what I got for Christmas this year.
A lesson. Oh, come on, Mayor.
Come on. So I want to throw it away, but I won't because death is scary.
Okay. Sometimes.
Like spiders. Actually, that's not true. I'm not really super afraid of death. I'm afraid of the way that I might die, but I'm not really afraid of death.
How do you think you might die?
I don't know. I hope it's something really traumatic, like instantaneous. That's what I mean. I don't want to see it coming. I don't want my family to see it coming. I don't want anyone to have to make any horrible choices.
Right. So do you not want to be an old person?
Oh, no.
What's
No.
What's your max age?
It keeps getting older. It used to be like 65.
Whoa.
I know.
That's young.
I get to like double the age I am now.
Well, yeah, but like when you hear about someone who died at 65, you always hear about them dying tragically young. It's like...
See, in my brain, tragically young is like 20.
Well, that's like depressingly young.
7. Yeah.
But like,
Okay.
it's like, oh, how unfortunate, how tragic. They still had so many years. Or they should have had so many years.
Mm-hmm. I see that. Okay.
So, okay, it was 65.
I feel like all the things that I want to do, I won't be able to do because my body will start to fail me. Also, if you go to the little old government website and punch in like your social security number and it tells you like when you can start receiving social security, this bitch gonna retire when she's like 78.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I will be dead and gone by that time. So I'll just work until the day I die, basically. Because everyone has this like American dream idea of what it means to retire and like live out your life, traveling the country and seeing things and swimming and whatever, going to Europe. And I'm like, you know how much walking is required in Europe?
Yeah.
On those tiny streets? I want to do that while my legs are real good.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But now, I don't know. It depends on if I spawn.
Got it. All right.
Because then, like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, leave them, like, when they need me.
Right.
And at this rate, I'm going to be, like, 70 when they graduate high school, so.
Well, let's see if, I don't know if I have any ideas that kind of launch off from there.
Let's take a time out, though. I want to know how many hole-in-the-wall tallies you tallied.
One. And it happened like pretty quickly after we recorded. But I had 0 clarinet ones. You had 3?
I saw a clarinetist get on the subway, so I saw their
right.
instrument case. I texted you about a podcast I was listening to.
Talking about clarinets, right?
It did, yes, it mentioned clarinets.
Okay.
Yes. And then the other was, I was listening to Laura Mavula, I think her last name is. There's this album that she did, I think either 2012 or 2014, and she sings with some orchestra, I don't know, Austrian, German, some orchestra with lots of K's and O's. And anyway, there's like a moment, and I was like, huh. 3.
Well, I've had.
Or did it have to be talking?
No, I don't know. I think you can define it however you want. I had a few like close calls, but it was all because of Kenny G, who plays the saxophone, the clarinet's
Soprano
cousin.
Saxophone. That's right.
Yeah, so it resembles
Close
a clarinet. It's a close call. But his Twitter account has been excellent lately. He posted a picture of himself that got a lot of retweets of himself riding a bicycle with no hands, and it says something along the lines of, "My hands are only meant for one thing, to play the sax." Nice. And that was like pretty solid. And then he had like a poll, and it was like, "What should I do today?" And the options in the poll were like, eat smooth peanut butter, listen to Smooth by Santana and Rob Thomas, play some smooth jazz on my sax. So it's like, man, this guy.
And it was overwhelmingly C, right?
Oh, I believe so. Yeah.
Good.
I might have voted for B because it's a catchy tune. It's a catchy tune. What?
If this is the song that I think it is, I am immediately turned off in the same way that I'm turned off by Jason Derulo.
Well, okay.
Is this the song where he's like, played by Carlos Santana? Is that...
I don't remember that
the same
part
song?
of it. It's like,
okay, there's this
but
part.
It's just like the ocean under the moon. It's really,
Yeah.
does he do that too? It's
Yeah,
equally
I think Rob
terrible
Thomas
and
says
incredible.
something.
It's like, it's infectious. Like you start listening to it and you're just like, man, I hate that this is catchy, but it is. What can you do about it?
Maybe that's not the song I'm listening to, but I feel like it's, unless they collabed more than once.
I don't know.
There's a thing where there's a song where somebody says like something played by Carlos Santana, and then he like plays, and I'm like, ugh. Where like every song Jason Derulo sings, it's like Jason Derulo, and you're like, stop saying your name.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh.
Well,
You don't need to. You don't need to know.
So I have a theory about the clarinet thing, though, because I feel like New York is a much heavier clarinet city than Portland, and most other cities probably. And
The podcast. That would take it down to 2, not 3. But you're right. It probably is a more clarinet heavy.
I mean, well, someone holding a clarinet case
Metropolis.
getting onto the subway, first of all, you're encountering more people probably by taking the subway. But also, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more people maybe playing klezmer music, or people part of different types of orchestras,
or lots more schools in a small space. So people are like going to band,
or people playing in like the pit of a show, like a musical.
Yes.
So there's a lot more concentrated clarinet action in New York.
Yes.
Did you have any hole in the walls?
One.
All right.
Yes. And I didn't say it. Someone else said it, and I was like, ah!
Mine
perked up.
Was my wife, who had not listened to the podcast, so she didn't even know, and she said it, and I was like, "That's a 1. That's a 1. That's a 1.
That's a 1." And I had a 1. Mine was in reference to my same job, but a different location, and they were like,
Okay.
"What I loved about it was that it was," and I was like, "Burp," and then I was going to interrupt and be like, hidden gem, but then
Yeah.
I didn't really know them, and I didn't want to get into it, but I did tally it.
Okay, is an indoor cycling fitness place, is it even possible for one of those to be a hole in the wall?
The first one, there was no sign from the outside. You had to go into a lobby, down a dark hallway, into like a back area that it was basically you were just on top of people the whole time you were there.
That doesn't even sound like a hidden gem. That just sounds like it was awful. Because hole in the wall also implies that it was like so great.
But it was so great because now it's
Well then, hidden gem.
thing. Like hidden gem. For sure.
I did have one idea that goes back to one of my challenges from the last episode, maybe? Ooh, what are you eating?
Okay. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
All right, a classic. So you had challenged me a couple of episodes ago to do ideas based on coasters, and
Yeah.
I had another one. Oh, my Postmate John Allen will drop off my item soon. ETA 13 minutes, so he might be interrupted.
Nice.
So I had another idea for coasters, and this may exist. I didn't do a lick of research, but it's a coffee table book about coasters that is also a coaster. Because how many times do you put glasses on books if you can't find a coaster?
I mean, in other people's homes, maybe. In mine, never.
Oh,
Because I love my books.
but I'm sure that like
I know
there's.
I'm rude.
But what if it's just like a garbage book that you don't really care so much about?
Yeah.
You could see yourself
Yeah.
doing that. So,
A children's book where they're just going to rip the cover anyway.
Probably. It may as well get a little stain on it.
Or spill apple juice on it. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I
For
like
sure.
it.
So that was just that one. It was just a little one.
I like it.
Do you have any good ones?
I do. I think they're good.
Of course.
The first one is just, I don't know if it would be essential oils or if that would mess something up, but a way to change the scent of your makeup to make it something that you prefer. Side story. I was given this makeup, and it's good makeup, from a friend who is a makeup artist, and she was
Okay.
like, you know what, this would look really good. Like, I don't know anything about proper pigment science.
Okay.
And she was like, I was thinking, I would never buy this for myself. And I put it on, and it was amazing. And I immediately had to wash my face because I was like, I can't smell this all day. I will freak out.
Interesting.
And so I can't wear it because it smells so much like death. It's like so overpoweringly flowery in the worst way. And I was like, if I could just change this to make it a different flower that I prefer, or
Which
a fruit.
is no flowers because you don't like flowers.
correct. But I will submit to lavender
Okay.
because it really is calming.
Lavender's kind of like bordering on like in the flower department.
Yeah. Chances are if it's like a weed or grows in the wild, like I don't. Borderline.
It's a borderline flower. So
yeah, I thought, do other people have this problem? Because sometimes, which will segue into my other idea, but sometimes I specifically am able to get a migraine on, let's say, a city bus because I can smell the petite lady's makeup next to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. And put my scarf up over my face.
Right.
Or just let's make all makeup no scented.
Yeah, why does it have to have a scent?
Yeah, I don't know. But I was so disappointed because I looked it up online and I was like, this is like $140 makeup.
Damn.
I want to wear this. And it was good.
Uh-huh.
It looked good.
It just smelled awful.
I couldn't take it. I tried because I was like, maybe if I wear it, the scent will go away.
Uh-huh.
And when I say I immediately washed my face, I gave it like 25 minutes. Couldn't do it. So that's idea number one. No scented or a way to change the scent.
That would be incredible. Yeah, if there's like different drops that you could put in as little additives. That would be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So you've got another one?
Yeah. The other idea I had was sort of a telephone pen pal service. Mm-hmm. That could possibly morph into like physical meetings, like in-person meetings, because we stay connected by texting or posting on a Facebook page or on Instagram, and then we like it and we're like, oh, John liked my spider, and then I can be like, we connected today, and I don't call.
Uh-huh.
Old folks sometimes aren't super tech savvy.
Right.
And they have a hard time texting, or maybe they're not on Facebook at all, or if they are on Facebook, then they're definitely not on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Uh-huh. And if they are, good job, family, for keeping them up to date and teaching them things. But for the most part, so it would be, we could call it old buds. And you sit at the call center and you would call your person and just check in and be like, tell me about what you're having for lunch today, or and then the way that it got to the point where I thought maybe you'd meet in person was this evening, prior to this macaroni and cheese. I had a voice lesson, and before I started my voice lesson, my teacher, who's quite old, said, can you help me first? I dropped a bottle of vitamins between the stove and the wall, and A, I can't bend down to get it, and B, I can't reach far enough back to get it. Can you help me? And I said, I can. And I thought, you're not going to be able to use your stove until you get that out of there, your oven, because it's going to heat up and melt. That's going to be a mess. And what are you going to do? It would be cool to have your old bud pen pal telephone person call and be like, how are you doing? And then you could just say, I have a box that I need from the mail room, but it feels kind of heavy and I don't think I can carry it up to my apartment because they're on the second floor, walk up. Or I dropped a bottle of vitamins. Can you help me? And then you're like, yeah. And you just come over and you help them out. And then you're like, have a good one. And you go. And it wouldn't be like a pay for. It would just sort of be like a
karma points.
A community. Yeah, just kind of. I watched a video on YouTube similarly but dissimilarly months ago about this program in Scandinavia somewhere, I don't remember, where the college students get free housing if they live as roommates in the nursing home with the old people.
What? That's so cool.
Free housing, free meals. You just have to be the roommate of somebody. And I think even not only room and board, but also partial tuition. It's a supreme deal. And the YouTube video was just about how this guy at first was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but the deal was just way too good to pass up, and I wouldn't get to go to college without this. And then we make grocery lists together, and then I go out and I buy the stuff, and then, you know, we cook dinner together, and sometimes he helps me with my homework, which is weird but not weird.
Right.
And it's like, now I do go out with my friends on certain days, but this man is my friend. And then they like checked back with the guy in his senior year and said, you know,
his senior year.
When you graduate, how are you going to feel? And he was like, I know I'm supposed to be really, really excited about this really grand accomplishment that I have, and then this new chapter of my life, but I will very much miss my friend.
Oh.
And I hope that we can still meet up just to even go on walks.
Right.
After I graduate. And I was like, you know, Old Buds service would be maybe beneficial for everyone.
Well, yeah, it's almost like the Big Brother, Big Sister program, except the opposite.
Kinda.
Yeah.
And it just made me think too, because I didn't have grandparents growing up. So that just means like my experience with older folks is a little different, which I think sometimes hinders me, but sometimes I don't have the same. You have a different emotional connection to someone who isn't your family.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So you're able to say things that maybe you wouldn't say in front of your family, or maybe you stifle something that you probably shouldn't say in front of your family, but you do because they're your family and they'll love you anyway. But just that dynamic it feels good to help out.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
So
Old Buds.
it wasn't an app. It wasn't for money. It was just
A
helping
thing
each
to
other
do
out.
that you've given a name.
Yeah. What you got?
I like it. I've got. I
Or
feel
if
like
they need, help getting Christmas gifts to their friends that they have to like mail everything because they go to the post office and the crack of dawn. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
I'm gonna do one little quick one because this is indeed a very little quick one, but it's a violent movie that takes place at a resort called Resort to Violence. That's all.
I love it.
And then this other one, I actually had this idea a couple weeks ago, but it feels appropriate now because I just started this new job yesterday, and yesterday I went around and I met basically everybody that works where I'm working. And let me tell you, a lot of people have a lot of different types of handshakes. So I feel like there should be a little electric handshake dummy that you can practice a handshake with, and it has like sensors that let you know like how to maybe improve your handshake, or what types of grips to use for different types of people. Sometimes there are people who maybe could work on their handshake a little bit if it just feels like someone's holding on to a few strands of spaghetti. Then you might be thinking, oh boy, I don't know about this.
Adjustments on the education handshake dummy. High fives for little kids.
High fives. Oh my God.
Because like they when you try to like high five a little kid, sometimes they're like, what? But if you're like, hit me up top.
Yeah.
They got it.
For sure. Yeah. You can't expect a kid to just know how to like full on high five you and, perfectly connect. And I don't know, but yeah, there needs to be training for those types of hand-to-hand greetings.
I love it. I shake a lot of hands when I meet people too, but it's never not sweaty.
Yeah, well, in your profession,
so that's
sweat kind of comes with the territory. But it's not like nervous sweat. It's like
no.
We just went through something. Sweat.
We did.
Yeah. I've got a bunch more, but those we can save those.
Okay.
And I kind of feel bad, but I kind of feel like we should make this one a little brief because I have to get to my ill wife
Don't feel bad. Sometimes a half sode is good.
A half a sode?
Yeah, you leave them wanting more.
Do you want to address our challenges, or do you want to hold off on those until the next time?
Why don't you tell me? Because I have a number of, or maybe we can one and the other.
Okay.
You can hold off if you want to, and I'll give mine because this is a problem you needed solving.
I'll hold off, and then you go ahead.
Okay. So the challenge that you gave me was that Daisy,
yes,
Bow Wow, goes bonkers watching. She's there?
No, she
when the Postmates guy comes.
Well, she is actually not here right now because we're having work done on the house, and she's with my sister-in-law, who's the best.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Shout out. Okay, so the first idea would be some sort of sensor on your house, like a motion detector that turns on lights, only it will ring a little bell or release a treat in a different area so that your dog, while like in the moment of there is something outside, I will alert you to this, goes like burp and gets distracted so that they stop the behavior. The second is the way that I cope with car alarms because they just get under my skin. But if you can harmonize with it, then it's less annoying because it sounds more like a song.
Aww.
So if your dog is going bananas and barking, you can just sort of like sing with your dog when they're barking. Like you could just try to get some sort of interval that's pleasing. Even though that doesn't stop the barking, it makes it less annoying.
I'll try that one. And my Postmate is here. Hold.
Okay, time out. I guess the listeners could just keep listening to me talk about things. How I'm currently looking up into the side if you're watching YouTube, but really I'm just staring at that spider and making sure that it's still inanimate because I have childlike wonder, and sometimes I feel like Toy Story is real and things are going to come to life when I'm not looking. And of course, it's never really wonderful things that do it, like cute stuffed animals. It's just the one spider ornament on the tree. You'll hear it later.
Were you just still going?
Yeah, I thought, they don't need to know that you're not there.
I was just gonna cut it and
snip it.
All right, but I could keep it. I could keep it.
You can cut it. Let's do a clap so we know.
But the Postmates driver, or the Postmate, whatever you want to call him, he was just like, "Oh, you got yourself a little podcast setup going." You should
have invited him in.
Oh my god!
Surprise
if I had
guest.
That would have been insane. But the perfect way to end this episode. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking.
It's okay. Your wife is sick and hungry.
Yes, this is true.
Okay, third thing and final thing.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you were going to go before your Postmates guy came. Or that was the interruption.
That was the interruption.
Okay, third and final thing. You have a la middle school theater backdrops that come down on rotation in front of your actual windows, but they have the ability to look through them the way that you look through the fence at a baseball game. So your dog sees the backdrop, but you can look outside. And so to them, it's like, ain't nothing going on outside, just a beautiful day. And
she smells it from like a mile away. She knows. Right. She knows.
Just put a whole bunch of makeup out on the floor.
Oh, it'll mask all the smells. Oh, it's perfect. All right. Well, how about this? Why don't we give each other challenges for the next episode? I'll give my challenge for actually, you know what? Screw it. I will give my idea for Windows. Okay?
What? Let's have it.
And this is a very basic idea, and I like how we were just actually talking about Windows because of dogs and Windows, and it's just like we couldn't separate these two. But mine doesn't have to do with the Windows you're thinking of. It has to do with the Microsoft operating system Windows, which is this is pretty basic. It's the laziest name for an operating system that has windows that you open. It's just like, I don't know, just call it Windows, because there's little windows that pop up with things. Because those things aren't windows. They're panels. Windows are things that you can look through and open up, and then a breeze comes through. Or you can close with curtains. So I think that you should either turn Windows into an accurate operating system, and you actually have curtains that close when you close the windows, or come up with a brand new name for it, which, I mean, I guess
anything would be better.
I mean, like, anything would be better. How about panels?
How about panels?
I don't know. And right now, I mean, it's completely different than the way that it was when it first started, when there actually were the windows. So, I don't know. I'm just not buying it, Microsoft.
Me either.
Yeah. But if you do want an idea having to do with actual windows, I've got one. And this is going to tie in. And this is going to tie into something else that I had cooking idea-wise. Okay. I feel like windows need to be soundproofed. Like, for real. And this kind of ties into the dog barking thing, because when a dog is barking in a house when I'm walking my dog, makes her go bananas, because she can hear this dog barking. And she's like, we're supposed to yell right now, oh my God. But, yeah, you can hear too much through windows. So soundproofing windows, another idea that I had that is not technically windows, but it's with soundproofing, is picture frames that are sound absorbent, and paint that has some sort of sound absorbency, like in there somehow. I don't know how it works, but like.
But you had the idea, and that's all we're here for.
Yeah, because my office, the walls are very thin, and I do video stuff where I like to play things through speakers, and I don't want to keep them very loud because I don't want to disturb anybody. So, yeah, I was just thinking about like
that's
all
brilliant.
the different ways to soundproof.
I think soundproofing windows might actually be more like heat cooling efficient as well.
Definitely.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it would have to be, but there probably is something. Look. There's probably stuff out there, but it's probably super expensive. So, I mean, or maybe it's just like a transparent like film that you can cut and put over your windows that you would never be able to tell is actually on there, but it absorbs the sound. I don't know. If you have any thoughts about these ideas or your own, call 304-804-IDEA or email it to greatideapod@gmail.com. What, you're moving around over there.
I know. I just got a notification that said performance reduced. Closing Skype may help your Mac cool down.
Well, perfect time for us to wrap things up.
As I swim.
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We are at GreatIdeaPod everywhere. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And Louise, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I don't see it happening.